So, talking about stress, we are going to discuss today. It's a great topic that is natural physiological reaction, allowing the body to face change in front of any difficulties, in front of anything that is dangerous. It can occur on the occasion of either a positive or negative event, and stress may allow a positive adaptation response or a negative maladaptive reaction. It can be chronic and become harmful for the physical and mental health. We have three phases of stress. So the first phase is the alarm phase. In this alarm phase, you have immediate reaction of the body. In the brain, you're going to have the reaction will start in the brain. After the brain is going to continue in the autonomous sympathetic and parasympathetic system with this liberation of mediators, chemical mediators. So it's also acting on the lungs with increase of pulmonary frequency, and it's acting on the heart. We are going to have increase of heartbeat also. In the liver now, we are going to have increase of production of glucose. The same in surrenal glands. We are going to have increase of production of adrenaline. This is alarm phase. Is this how the person receive the attack? There is a sudden reaction. Now, the body now is going to resist to this by bringing certain adaptive procedure in the brain, in the muscles, in the liver, in the bones, and in the digestive system. This, all these biological response tend to resist to the stress. Now, after this phase, we have exhaustion phase, that the person cannot face the event. And what is going to happen is that from the brain is not sensitive to glucocorticoid more. On the immunity, there is a decrease of defense. So also the heart cannot react more, increase of heartbeat. You have also consequence on the skin, blood vessels, on digestive system. You're going to have certain troubles. So on this surrenal gland, there will be increase of secretion of cortisol also. The mechanism of stress, to explain it very simply, is we have to talk about the causes, the reaction of the body, the consequence of stress, and long-term consequence of stress also. So the cause of stress, you can have a physical aggression or suffering or aggression. You can have a psychological suffering. You can have also a physiological suffering, aggression. Read physiological, please. So after this, the body is going to react by increasing adrenaline production, autosympathetic system that is related with hypophyse always. So the consequence of stress is hunger, bad digestion, insomnia, psoriasis, depression, eczema, headache. We are going to have on the heart also heartbeat increase, increase of blood pressure. On the immunity, we are going to have decrease of immunity. This decrease of immunity can lead to infection and cancer. This is long-term effect. On the heart, it can lead to high blood pressure, and patients with chronic stress tend to have arrhythmia. So in the stomach, we can have gastritis and ulcer. Okay, in concerning the digestive system, there is also loss of weight. So now there is the body tend to respond to aggression by stimulating the hypothalamus. It's coming from the brain. This is called hypothalamus, where you have messages that are going to surrenal glands, and in this surrenal gland, you are going to have secretion of adrenaline and noradrenaline. So, and this could lead to the pro-inflammatory cytokine. Those pro-inflammatory cytokine are the one who give now stimulate chemical mediators. So this system is a regulating system also that is that interfere with CBD, with cannabinoids. This system is a system that regulates the body, and we are going to talk about homeostasis concerning this parasympathetic and autosympathetic system. So the anxiety is a frequent and intense feeling of fear and imminent danger and emotional tumor. So the causes of this stress, you see, among the causes, you have stress. That is one of the main causes of anxiety. You have intense shock, accident, failure, conflict, depressive state, phobia, obsession. You have also disease like asthma and diabetes mellitus. You have drug abuses, and for example, when you are taking amphetamine, you can become undergo anxiety. So the symptoms of anxiety are nervousness, feeling of helplessness, feeling of imminent danger, palpitation, increase of heartbeat. You are going to sweat also. This can lead to what they call syncope. So the good advice about for prevention of this is it's good to speak and confess when you are dealing with people. You have to consult also a doctor. You can exercise. You have to reduce or stop coffee or alcohol, cigarette. You have to sleep well, and you have to eat healthy. According to Tanja Baga, expert in molecular biology, the endocannabinoid system, like many others, work by communication between cells, tissue, system, organs. To understand this endocannabinoid system, there is a need to read about Tanja Baga on her productions. So there is a sending cells that send message to the target cell. This target cell produce a response, but if it is not a target cell, there will be no response. They call this the cellular signaling. So this is a schematic representation of this signaling. So we have the sending cell. You see there is a message here going to the target cell. Now, on the target cell, you have the receptor. And this receptor is there is a lot of mechanism here inside here that very complicated biomolecular mechanism and reaction that are leading to the response. You see now, this is the non-target cell. There is no receptor and no ligand. Now, this signal is started by a signal perception. That is, a receptor is there, and the ligand is going to join the receptor. You have a sequence of reactions that are going to be intracellular signal and transduction. So that leading to a cellular response also, cellular response. So now, this is a very, very important slide. This is one of the key elements of homeostasis in the body is the endocannabinoid system. This system regulates all the system of the body. And there, you see this patient has stress. There is loss of equilibrium of his body. And once the person takes endocannabinoid, this cannabinoid, like CBD, you see there is a sort of regulation and equilibrium of the body. This is a very important slide to explain, to tell our listeners how this cannabinoid act in the body. This is cannabinoid act in the body by regulation, the regulation of all the function of the body. You can see now, if there is dysregulation and you have an attack, you undergo stress. After this stress now, when you take cannabinoids, CBD, you're going to regulate this situation. And this regulation is made by certain mechanisms that are intracellular, presynaptic, postsynaptic. So we are going to see that CBD stimulates the endocannabinoid system and the production of endocannabinoids. It influences the level of serotonin, molecule of happiness. So it's going to promote neuronal regeneration. is going to treat stress and anxiety. So this also is going to reduce the risk of anxiety attacks. You understand? So now, other thing is the activity of adenosine 2A receptors via CBD has also an anxiolytic action. All this is to say that now we are going to all anxiety disorder that may be helped by CDD, general anxiety, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, or obsessive compulsive disorder. You see that we have a large panel of diseases that can be treated where CBD can help. Now, what are the effects of on presynaptic on psychiatric disorder? We have an aspect of CBD on psychiatric disorder, generalized psychiatric disorder. The mechanism is very complicated, and when we take CBD, they're going to bind on all those receptors, CB1 and CB2. There is certain other receptors that are activated: PPAR, TRPV, GPR55. This activation will lead to what? Increase of hippocampal neurogenesis and also reduction of glial activity. So this reduction of glial activity is going to reduce the stress also. So astrocytes are going to reduce their activity, and microglia also are going to reduce their activity. So the activation of CB2 receptor increase hippocampal neurogenesis and decrease glial reactivity and of astrocytes and microglia. So see, when they talk about the biomolecular mechanism, how does this CBD act on stress and anxiety at the molecular level? So we know that in the body we have CB1 and CB2 receptors in all the body. So we know also that the CB1 receptor is mainly located in the brain and the central nervous system, and the CB2, the receptor are more densely represented in the immunological tissue, and so these receptors are going to activate. Once they are activated, there is certain substances that are also activated, and this is leading to what they call they stop this degranulation of mastocyte in the presynaptic junction. So the activation of CB2 is going to stop this liberation of neuromediators, the substances that are increasing when there is stress. So the activation of CB2 receptor is going to limit the production of neuromediator, of noradrenaline, by binding all these receptors and provoking and stopping the liberation of neuromediators. So let us look for the other slide. Excuse me, this is going faster than what I... So the endocannabinoid system plays a key role in homeostasis and regulate many physiological processes such as inflammation and others. CBD acts here by regulation of the body, the immune system, the auto and parasympathetic system, facing a danger or any other situation. CBD fixed on presynaptic CB2 receptor. There is a blockage, as we saw in the earlier, of the release of chemical mediator, leading to the effect of stress and noradrenaline. This is clear that taking CBD, you are going to reduce the effect of stress on the body. Now, concerning anxiety, just recall that CBD has medicinal benefits. The US Food and Drug Administration has approved it as an anti-epileptic drug also already. Donc, CBD is an active ingredient derived from cannabis, where you have almost 400 ingredients. So knowing that anxiety is the most common mental disorder that affects up to 30% of adults. CBD can be the alternative for an anti-anxiety drug. So a 2019 study found almost 80% of people who tried CBD found it reduce their anxiety. So it is proven already that CBD can positively reduce the anxiety. So CBD has no potential for abuse and shouldn't be considered as a controlled substance. This is a good news for us also and for our countries. While hemp-based CBD oil is legal anywhere, not all states allow the sale of CBD. So there is also now, you see that there is somewhere that there is also that the WHO they give also their idea on it, and they accept this CBD. CBD increase telomerase activity. This is very, very important for us. The increase of telomerase activity and changes gene expression. This is very, very important. This corrects the genes at the level of the chromosomal telomere, and this code for healthier and better functioning protein. This is very, very important because in the body, certain diseases are related to genes, and like cancer, like certain chronic disease, and CBD can correct those genes and by acting on telomere. This is proved by studies also. So this is a production of Rosa. On this slide, you can see that there is the human heart magnetic field can be measured. The human heart has a magnetic field. This can be measured several feet away from the body. This is what you see, the magnetic field of the heart. In fetal development, the heart forms and start beating before the brain begins to develop. So we also know that positive emotion creates physiological benefit in your body. Therefore, in the other side, negative emotion can create nervous system chaos, but positive emotion do the opposite. Positive emotion can increase the brain ability to make good decisions. You can boost your immune system by focusing on positive emotion. This is very important. I want to thank everybody, Mr. Zen, Rosa, everybody present. I want to tell you that thank you very much.